Hello everyone and welcome to Bobcat as a spirit guide. Bobcat is actually a subspecies of lynx, so you'll notice there's also a Canadian lynx spirit guide video on this channel. And if you watch that one and then you watch this one, you'll notice that they start the same, and that's because there are some big similarities since they're both lynx. But there are also some pretty pertinent differences. So if you're looking for Bobcat lynx as a spirit guide, this is the right place for you to be. So first and foremost, Bobcat has excellent vision and excellent hearing. And when a spirit guide presents with these qualities, it's telling you that a lot of your wisdom, your intuitive wisdom or the wisdom of your guides is going to come to you in the meantime from sources that are clairaudient or clairvoyant, so messages that you can see, billboards, psychic visions, dreams, pictures that you find or that people send to you, cloud formation, and also things that you can hear. So sounds and songs and people's voices, words people say. You might actually hear the words of your guides while you're meditating or while you're sleeping. You're not crazy, you're not hearing voices in the oh my gosh sense. It's actually a really good thing. And so if these messages are particularly intense, or if you notice you're getting the same ones over and over and over again, then you can take Bobcat's appearance as a sign that, hey, yeah, this is where your attention needs to be right now. Pay attention to these things. They're going to help you. Bobcat is a solitary hunter and lives a solitary life. They do not like company. So if you are seeing a lot of Bobcat lately and you are feeling like you are going to go absolutely insane if you don't get some alone time, Bobcat is saying, yeah, you need to get some time to yourself. They get downright mean when you try to get into their space, and so you may be getting to the point where all these other people are really making you moody. So Bobcat is saying, yeah, get some time to yourself. It's really, really important for you at this time. It would be very, very healing. Bobcats are also single mommies, like a lot of big cats. So if you are a single mother at this time and Bobcat shows up, it's telling you that, you know what, you're doing a good job. Bobcat is very, very self-sufficient. It's also very, very protective. As I mentioned, they are feisty little critters and they will defend their cubs. So if you are a single mom, then Bobcat's energy is going to help you. You're doing a good job. Keep it up. If, however, you are not wanting to have new children and raise them on your own at this time, and you are in a relationship with somebody with whom you would want to share children, it would be a good time to well, revisit your contraceptive methods. Make sure that you're being as cautious as possible, because the energy at this time is right for single motherhood. And so if you're not being cautious, then that may be what you wind up with. Bobcat's kind of giving you a warning here. Bobcats are also marked by their bobbed tail. It's something that all four lynx cats have. And the bobtail means several things here. Because in other animals the tail often serves for balance, it does in most cats in fact, the fact that this is a shortened tail is telling you first you need to look at if there's any areas in your life in which you're out of balance. So this could be in your career. Maybe you are putting in a ton of work but not being paid for it. Maybe you are working way too hard. Maybe you're not working hard enough. Could be in your diet. Maybe you are eating way too much sugar. Maybe you have gone vegetarian, for example, and you notice you're not feeling good. It may be that Bobcat is saying that your vegetarian diet is not meeting your needs and you need to revisit things. It may mean you're eating too much or not enough. Basically, any area in your life where you go, you know what, where do things not feel quite harmonious? Where aren't things quite right? Where am I putting too much effort or too little? That's where Bobcat could be trying to draw your attention. The bobbed tail, however, also can sometimes just mean that we're not grounded. You may kind of feel disconnected from everything, often la-la land. And so a good thing to do if that is the case is to start looking at ways you can reground yourself. So get out in nature if it's possible. Nature is incredibly grounding. Go put your feet in the grass. Go hike through some snow. Although Bobcat isn't really a snow animal, so that may not be very successful. Lynx, Canadian lynx, yes. Bobcat, no. Do some creative activities. Do something where you get your hands dirty, gardening. But something that will make you feel more centered, get you back into your body, pull together all the scattered pieces of yourself and make you feel peaceful again. Now, the last thing that the bobtail may be drawing your attention to is a lack of connectedness to one's roots. The tail relates to the base chakra, which often relates to our ancestry, our blood ties, our family, our security. And so if you don't feel like you actually have a place to call home, or if you don't feel like you have any family ties or any ancestry, it would be a really good time to look at ways that you can create that. Not all of us have families with whom we are close. You may not have family traditions. You may find you're really hungering for them. And so what Bobcat would say to do, because Bobcat is so self-sufficient and a loner, Bobcat would say that is just fine. But you need to create some traditions for yourself, something that gives you a sense of connectedness to everything else, a sense of being tied into all that is. Now, as I mentioned, bobcats do not like snow, which Canadian lynx does, but they do like water. And water is the element of emotion and creativity. And so if Bobcat is coming to visit you, you may notice you're feeling extremely emotional. You may just be feeling like everything ticks you off. Or you may be very sad or very afraid. You may just be almost insanely happy. But whatever the case, these emotions are likely to be overwhelming to the point sometimes where you're going, oh my gosh, where's the off switch? And if this is happening to you, the message is not that these emotions are a bad thing or that there's something wrong with you. The message is actually that these emotions are trying to get your attention. Abraham, who is channeled by Esther Hicks, talks about our emotional guidance system. Our emotions tell us what needs to change in our life to make us feel better, or it tells us when something we're doing is right. So if you're feeling these really intense emotions, your body is trying to get your attention and tell you something probably needs to change. So why are you feeling this way? It is not wrong for you to feel anything. The idea is to figure out, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What do I need to do so that I can feel more grounded, feel better, feel happier, whatever. Now, again, because emotions and creativity are both related to water, you may also notice you're experiencing a creative upsurge and that the creativity is almost just all-consuming. If you're feeling especially creative, make sure you use that energy. Don't stuff it down. Don't stifle it. You'll wind up with a sore throat or other interesting creativity-related ailments. But do make sure that you don't let the rest of your life, your job, etc., just fall by the wayside. So use your creativity, but don't abandon everything else completely. Bobcats are extremely patient hunters. They've been known to sit absolutely still for hours and hours and hours at a time. I remember reading something about a bobcat that sat absolutely still for 7 hours while watching a rabbit. So bobcats are very patient. They are also extremely stubborn, very persistent, and as I mentioned before, feisty. They don't give up when they want something. So if you are in the process of trying to create something and it's not really going as fast as you would like, just Bobcat is saying, look, hang in there, be patient, you'll get it. Because Bobcat pretty much always gets what it wants. But the possibility here too is that you may be hanging on to a project that is running away with you. Bobcat will hang on even when there's a lot of danger. And so what you need to do in this case is kind of use that emotional guidance system and ask yourself, are you hanging on to this thing that you want because you really, truly want it? It's meaningful to you. Or are you hanging on because somebody else says you should want it? Or maybe you've just invested so much time you don't know how to let go. But it's important for you to decide whether or not this is something that it is really good for you to keep putting your energy into, because the longer you hang on, the more detrimental it could become. Now, Bobcat, lastly, is a perfect example of something extremely powerful coming in an extremely small package. Bobcats aren't a whole lot bigger than your average house cat. Our average chunker here at home is 18 pounds. He's a big kitty. Most Bobcats aren't more than 20 pounds. And yet you've got a 20-pound cat that can bring down a full-grown deer just because once it wants it, it gets on its back, sinks in its claws, and doesn't let go, even as this animal goes tearing off through the forest. So as small as it is very, very powerful. So if at this time you've got a lot of people telling you that you don't have what it takes to do what you want, Bobcat would be counseling the exact opposite. Say, no, it doesn't matter how things appear. You have all the power and energy necessary to do this. This is especially true if you are a person who is small in stature and size, somebody who's very petite, that maybe does not get taken seriously because of their size. Bobcat would be saying, hey, it doesn't matter, how much physical space you take up. It is the energy of your spirit. In fact, when you read somebody's palm, the smaller their palm, the more likely they are to really be personality powerhouses. So the same is true here as well. Bobcat would be telling you, doesn't matter how tiny you are physically, go out there and roar. Again, Bobcat doesn't take no for an answer, and in this case it may be appropriate for you to do the same. My darlings, I hope that this has answered all your questions about what it means to have Bobcat as a spirit guide. If you have any more questions, or if you just want a totem reading or healing session, whatever, I do just about everything, please feel free to get in touch with me at my website, which is www.ravenlightholistichealing.com. I also maintain a blog there. You can check me out on Facebook at Raven Light Holistic Healing, or you can even message me here through YouTube. Cheers, my darlings, and have a wonderful day.